so few punches, and he lets you work. He lets you work, and you're backing up, and you're always afraid of that power, and he's just moving in, trying to find that opening where he just gets it.
So that's happening. And then you have Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. That's
Joe Rogan has seen enough of tank training to sound the alarm. After watching Gervonta tank Davis's latest training clips, Rogan has warned Jake Paul that this version of Davis might be the worst possible opponent he could have chosen. Rogan believes Tank isn't just the better boxer, he's the faster, sharper, and more dangerous fighter in almost every department. And with Davis now visibly bulking up for the size difference, Rogan says Jake could be walking straight into a lesson he won't forget.
And then you have Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. That's the state of boxing.
Yeah, that's
right now.
crazy.
Let that sink in.
Jake
That's
Paul,
boxing right now.
Gervonta Davis is so crazy. 135 versus 200. That is so nuts.
They're all expedition.
None of them are.
They're
Tank's speed is on another level, Rogan said when breaking down Davis's camp on the Joe Rogan Experience. He has called Davis one of the most explosive punchers in boxing, a man who doesn't just rely on power, but on precision and timing that leaves opponents unsure of when or where the next shot is coming from. Now, with Davis putting on extra size ahead of Jake Paul, Rogan believes that same speed combined with new strength could spell disaster.
The fight is scheduled and everybody's going to watch it. So with all the eyes on it, there's only one result that is going to be of satisfactory. Only one result. And that if Tank knocks out Jake. That's the only result.
From Davis's camp, everything has taken a new angle. Training for this fight has been different. It looks heavier, more deliberate, and built around adapting to Jake's weight and reach. In a recent interview, Calvin Ford told Bad Left Hook that this fight would be an easy win for Tank.
It's hard to know in some things. I think Gervonta's just going to stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab.
According to Ford, the key isn't matching Jake's size, it's staying composed and making Jake miss. He only has to stay away from Jake. Jake is slow, Ford said, and that's exactly what Davis's training footage shows. Short bursts of footwork, heavy sparring against bigger opponents, and those trademark body-head combinations that have broken men his own size.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying?
Rogan believes this fight could be the one that finally exposes the difference between athletic improvement and real boxing instinct. Jake's been working hard, but Gervonta's a killer. He's got that real boxer timing. He knows exactly when to punch. By the time Jake throws a punch, Rogan believes Tank will already be 2 moves ahead, ready to slip, pivot, and counter. If Tank sees an opening, Jake's getting countered and dropped. He hits like a truck, but the difference is he knows where to hit and when to hit. And that's what makes this matchup so risky. Jake can't afford to make the smallest mistake.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Even Davis's mindset seems different this time. While past training camps have focused on defending titles and staying sharp, this one feels more personal, a fight against a crossover star in a bigger weight class. Davis isn't talking about surviving the size difference. He's preparing to dominate it. His sparring partners have reportedly included much larger fighters, designed to simulate Jake's reach and strength. Every clip shows the same pattern: relentless focus, sharp counters, and the kind of power that can end things early.
I'll tell you what we're going to learn. If Tank Davis takes it serious, Tank Davis is going to beat his. I just don't know if Tank's going to take it serious. Mentally, I don't know how checked out he's been for a while, to be honest. He's a good enough boxer to, still. We see what's going on in his personal life. He's talked about retiring. He seems, when you follow him on social media.
The fight itself is not sanctioned for the record books. It's 10 3-minute rounds, and it sits somewhere between a show and a real contest. But that hasn't dulled the noise. There's been pushback from boxing pros who think it's a circus, curiosity from casual fans wondering how far Paul's confidence can stretch, and a quiet, focused energy from Davis's camp that says they don't care about any of that. Even if the outcome won't be official, both men seem to be treating it like it means everything.
A 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers, if you want everyone on the...
Jake's the one trying to control the conversation early. The YouTuber turned fighter went straight into his usual playbook, turning social media into a battlefield. My team told me Tank is looking dangerous in camp based on intel. Shiver me timbers. 4 weeks, Miami, he wrote, half mocking, half defensive. That single post has kicked off the mind games. Reports from Baltimore say Tank has been sparring bigger men, heavyweights even, and the sessions haven't gone easy for them. One even claimed Tank hit him so hard that he was on the top rope.
Friday, November 14th, 2025. That's the date. That's how it's going to go. I'm showing up, putting in the work, but I'm telling you now, I'm taking that L. We'll see what happens after, but
that's the uncomfortable part for Jake Paul. He's got the physical gifts, 6 feet tall, built like a cruiserweight, walking into the ring with roughly a 40-pound advantage over a man who has never fought above light welterweight. On paper, he should be the problem. But boxing doesn't work that way. It never has. The smaller man, if he knows how to slip, pivot, and punish mistakes, can turn that advantage into a liability. And Davis is built to do just that.
A baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it.
Tank stands only 5'5", but he fights like every inch of him is weaponized. 93% of his opponents have been stopped before the final bell. That statistic is what he thinks. Davis doesn't chase knockouts. He engineers them. He breaks rhythm, finds gaps, and hits the kind of clean, explosive shots that make the rest of the round irrelevant. His timing is the great equalizer, the reason why a size gap doesn't scare him.
I believe that this is a mismatch, and I believe that Jake Paul will knock Tank Davis out, maybe in the third, maybe in the fourth round. Tank will try to move, he will try to stick and move. It's not going to work out for him, and he will eventually get knocked out.
For Jake, that presents a puzzle he hasn't solved before. Every opponent he's faced so far has been either a past-their-prime MMA name or a cautious boxer willing to dance for a paycheck. Davis doesn't dance. He stalks. He reads reactions and cuts off space, a habit formed over years of real world-class opposition. When Paul joked after the Mike Tyson exhibition, "Is there a height limit in boxing?" it sounded harmless. Now, with fight week closing in, that same joke feels like it could age badly.
Right, I think that fight there, I think because of Tank's skill level, it's like it makes it fair, even though he's not. The weight difference is crazy. Really and truly, bro, Jake Paul should not land a punch on Tank. This guy's one of the greatest.
Calvin Ford, Davis's longtime trainer, isn't hiding how confident he is. He's called it straight, said this fight should be easy work. Ford believes Jake is slower, too reliant on his right hand, and still learning how to react when the pace quickens. He only has to stay away from Jake, Ford said recently. Jake is slow. In other words, Davis's team expects the bigger man to chase and miss, giving Tank the openings he needs. That's why his sparring footage matters so much. It's not just about conditioning. It's about timing bigger swings, learning how to counter heavier arms, and staying elusive without losing balance. And while Tank's camp runs those drills behind closed doors, Jake's camp is broadcasting its own version of intensity. He's built his brand on showing the grind, the early mornings, the sweat, the motivational sound bites. This time, he's pulling ATVs with a harness strapped to his back, filming it for social media. "I got the world on my shoulders, trying to take me down," he posted. "But obstacles won't stop me. Doubt won't stop me. And most of all, haters won't stop me." 55 days.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're going to go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to.
For his followers, it's motivation. For boxing heads, it's marketing. What matters more than the stunt is whether that work translates into ring control. Jake's size will let him walk forward, but walking forward into someone like Davis can go wrong fast. One wrong jab, one lazy pivot, and the counter comes. When Davis fought Ryan Garcia, it was the same pattern. Garcia had height, reach, speed. None of it mattered once he made the mistake of punching down on Tank.
Ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces. I'll do bare knuckle. Like,
I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he can handle himself.
so what do you want? 10 ounce? 8 ounce? What do we want?
If he the one said that, I'm gonna go with that.
Still, Jake has plans beyond this. He's hinted that if he beats Davis, even in an exhibition, it opens the door to something bigger. His name keeps getting thrown in the same sentences as Canelo Alvarez's, usually by people trying to stir interest. He's talked before about wanting that fight, insisting he'd reach that level in time. And according to one former world champion, beating Davis would push him closer to that dream, no matter what the paperwork says.
Entertaining fight, to be honest. Jake Paul has a lot of followings, a lot of guys that are going to come and watch, and that gives the opportunity for other fighters to be seen on those cards, So a lot of people don't agree, but at the end of the day, for me, it's entertainment. And if we can take boxing to the next level and give other fighters opportunities to be displayed and for other people, YouTubers and all that, to be seen, and hopefully all the YouTubers and people there are just there